We all know that there's certain foods that are championed as offering antioxidant benefits for your body. But when you look online and you look at the lists of food that are available online, you'll find that there are almost no African foods included on those lists. And that could lead you to think that there aren't any African foods that you could eat that could give you antioxidant benefits. Well, that's actually not true. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 African plants that you can include in your diet to get more antioxidant benefits. So it turns out the African yam bean is also used as a cure for intoxication, alcohol intoxication. I really would have liked to know that during my uni days. Hello, I'm Kudzai Musengi. I'm the founder of Sensational Seasonals, the home place of African wellness. Looking to optimize your health and well-being with African plants and products, then you'll want to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification button so that you don't miss when I upload new videos. The first vegetable I want to talk about is okra. It's sometimes called ladyfinger. Well, actually, it's not a vegetable. It's actually a fruit. It is low in calories, it has lots of nutrients and protein in it. So the antioxidants that are found in okra are called polyphenols. Polyphenols decrease your risk of developing certain conditions like heart disease, cancer, stroke, or diabetes. So the protein that's found in okra is called lectin. And a really interesting thing about lectin is that scientists have done studies and they believe that lectin is responsible for reducing the multiplication of breast cancer cells. So that's really exciting. Although further research is needed in this area to be able to say conclusively that okra can reduce breast cancer. I grew up eating okra and I despised okra, and it was one of those foods that my mother would struggle to get me to eat. It's I think maybe it's just the way that she cooked it. She used to cook it as a soup, so it was really slimy, and yeah, it was just not something that was particularly appealing to me as a child. That sliminess is called mucilage. So it turns out that mucilage is actually really important for controlling cholesterol, because cholesterol binds to the mucilage and then just passes through your body. So as opposed to cholesterol lining up your arteries, it can just get bound up in the okra in your stomach and then pass through your waist. That mucilage is really important actually for cholesterol. There was a study done on lab mice where the lab mice were fed a high calorie diet, and they were also given extracts from okra. And what the results showed from those tests were that the mice actually had lower cholesterol levels than the mice that were not given extracts of okra. So what happened was that the cholesterol got bound to the mucilage, and the mice just passed out this cholesterol through their feces. So I thought that was really exciting. Of course, more research needs to be done into this area, but the initial results that were done from these mice showed really promising results. So I didn't like okra as a child. But when I got pregnant with my first child, as fate would have it, I started craving okra. Now, okra isn't a vegetable that I would normally buy or include in my weekly fruit and vegetable shop. So I started looking into it, and I thought to myself, well, why would I suddenly start craving okra when it's not even something that I think about? So When I looked into okra, it turns out that okra is actually a really, really good fruit for women who are pregnant because it contains folic acid. Now, folic acid is used by the body to help develop your baby and prevent things like neural tube defects, which can affect the head and the spine of the baby. So how's that for irony? Somebody who didn't like okra growing up, when she gets pregnant, she starts craving okra. The second group of foods I want to talk about are African herbal teas. Now, some scientists believe that herbal teas contain up to 10 times the amount of antioxidants that fruits and vegetables offer us. Now, these antibiotics have medicine-like properties, which means that they can act as an antibiotic or an anti-cancer or an anti-inflammatory. A recent study was done to compare the antioxidant properties of various African herbal teas. In these studies, Zumbani tea was highlighted as having one of the highest antioxidant properties. So if you want to do something good for yourself, drink an African herbal tea. Zumbani. I have Zumbani tea available for sale. So if you want to get Zumbani on the regular and make sure that you are getting sufficient antioxidants to keep you healthy, you can order yourself a subscription, a quarterly subscription of Zumbani tea. I will leave a link in the description below. Now, the third food on my list is called the African yam bean. Now, this bean I haven't tried before, but I'm really keen to try it. Let me know in the comment section below if you've tried African yam beans or any of the foods that I've talked about today. So the African yam beans have antioxidants as well as dietary fiber. And these two work together to prevent colon cancer. African yam beans contain inulin. And inulin can be fermented to create good bacteria for the gut. Now, having good bacteria in your gut helps to keep you regular, thereby reducing your risks of developing colon cancer. So the African yam beans also have a high moisture content in them. So that means that that helps to ease things like constipation. Another good thing about the African yam bean is that it contains protein. And the World Health Organization uses the African yam bean to help fight against diseases like kwashiorkor. So here's another thing I discovered when I was researching the African yam bean. So it turns out the African yam bean is also used as a cure for intoxication, alcohol intoxication. I really would have liked to know that during my uni days. Anywho, African yam bean, unlike the African teas I talked about as my second food group, the African yam bean is full of nutrients, and the protein content also helps to help you feel fuller for longer. So it makes a really good addition to your diet. Let me know in the comment section below which of these foods I've talked about today you are going to try. Let's make wellness a priority and get better together.